This is the YHA's Brecon Beacon Hostel. Hi, I'm Warren Brandon. Welcome to another Linleys video. Check out this youth hostel with me as I explore the communal spaces, a bedroom and some of the facilities. Let's see what this place is like. My mate Neil and I have 2 nights booked in. We have bunk beds and this time in the male dorm room. We've stayed here many times over the last 15 years or so. The place is timeless. Brecon YHA is along the main A470, right in the heart of the Brecon Beacon Mountains, and is an ideal location for trekking and exploring in this part of South Wales. Arriving from the north, driving south from Brecon along the A470, the turning off on the left needs careful spotting. There are big brown signs along the road just after the parking lay-by on the left. From the south though, driving up from Merthyr Tydfil, take care turning right as the drive down to the YHA cuts sharply back and there's fast moving traffic along this busy road. Down the drive, yep, it's not the greatest of surfaces. The main car park is on the right, about halfway down. Unloading only is permitted at the bottom. First impressions are not the very best from this view, but hang on in here. The site is full of old character around the side and indoors. The building ahead is actually part of an annex and looks very unwelcoming from this perspective. I've just stopped here to unload. Let's take a look along the side path leading around to reception, and I'll get us checked in. The DAFs are out and brightening up what is otherwise a bit of a drab day today. This YHA is more suitable for able-bodied guests. I'm not sure what the arrangements are for those who are less mobile. The entrance is here on the right, up a couple of steps. There is an entry code for the door, useful for out-of-hours access to save the need for additional keys. I've booked our beds about 6 weeks ago. At the time there was quite a bit of capacity spare, but most YHAs have their weekend beds booked up around the few weeks preceding a date in the calendar. These views from their website are a bit out of date, as the old wooden bunks have mostly gone. So too are the bright green bedding sheets. The online booking is easy. I'm a member, so my details are registered and I gain a 10% discount too. This hostel has dorm rooms for up to 6 beds and quite a few smaller rooms with bunks for just 2. The £122 covers the 2 beds for Neil and I for 2 nights, plus our breakfasts. During the simple check-in procedure at the desk, you'll be asked what time you'd like your breakfast if you've pre-ordered one. Ah yes, and they always ask for photo ID for everyone staying. Okay, so let's explore the communal areas. Off the entry lobby and reception is the dining room. It's a bright space, quite large, and has these solid wooden dining tables. I've filmed when the room is empty, but at breakfast time it wasn't cramped. Meals are available to pre-order. I've booked breakfasts for Neil and I, but we'll pop out this time to a local pub for an evening meal. If the food prepared here is like other YHAs I've used, then it's good value overall. Bottled and canned drinks are available from reception. It's a bit of a through route. Standing by the window for this view, the entry door is on the left. The stairs go up to some bedrooms, and on the right is the way through into the shared self-catering kitchen area. It's been years since I've used a YHA self-catering kitchen, but this one looks bright, spacious and well stocked with tools and equipment. The layout seems ideal, with the central worktop and side sinks most of the way round. Chopping boards of all the various colours, cutlery, knives, waste bins for recycling, food labels for leaving food in the fridges, and the cooker tops. These ones are gas. All good, I think, clean, tidy and fresh. Whoosh, back into the dining room again. Let's check out the view from the windows. Okay, so it's a bit wintry and grim out. Well, I can't help that today, but in the summer it's lovely here. The picnic tables and the grassy area there are lovely during the warm summer evenings. Oh yes, and the YHAs have signed up with Waitrose, and these water points are now in most of the YHA buildings. Great for topping up water bottles for hikes. Neil and I are using a room on the ground floor, but we have used rooms upstairs many times in the past. Mind your head on the stairs. There are many smaller rooms for 2 people and some larger rooms up here. Toilets and showers too, off the corridor. The rooms are labelled by numbers and names of trees. This isn't our space this time, so I won't dwell here. Let's go back downstairs and look at our room and toilet area. Mind your head. Down at the back here, there are 2 rooms, both larger dorms. The male dorm room has 6 beds in 3 bunk units. I assume the female room has the same layout. We have this dorm room to ourselves for the first night we're here, but the second, there are other guys taking the other beds. 2 are touring cyclists and the other 2 guys are trekking. There's more than enough space for the 6 of us to sort out our gear and be in the room together. I'd say there's just about adequate space for stowing gear though, and hanging stuff up. Not really enough actually. There's a shared sink for doing teeth, and that saves a trip to the toilet area. We'll go there next. This room has basic mains power points but no USB charging sockets, so you'll need to have your own adapter cubes for phone charging. As you can see, I've dumped most of my gear on the floor and hung up a towel from the bars above my bed. Let's pop around the corner to the toilets and shower. So here, there's an open space with good flooring and it's easy to keep clean. And yes, the whole area is fresh and clean. On the right there are 2 toilet rooms, each with a fair amount of space, bright clean and with a hand basin, soap and hot water. My trick is to wear Crocs or flip-flops when walking to and from the dorm room. I just feel it's better that way and saves bare feet on a floor that may have had outdoor feet walking over it. On the other side is the shower room, large enough to change inside, so no need to try and be discreet in the open space in the middle. I used the shower yesterday evening and there was loads of water, a good whoosh in fact, but not as hot as it could have been. I may have been unlucky, of course. There's lots of fresh air and ventilation around here too, so damp or toilet smells won't be lingering for long. And here is the second toilet room, same, just a reversed layout. 2 loos for, I assume, 12 people seems about fair. I've not found there to be a queue for the loo. These are always an important feature. The idea of sharing facilities is a no-no for some people, but Neil and I don't care, and with the right timing and relaxed attitude, all is fine. Back up the corridor towards reception, we find the drying rooms on the left. Adequate at best, I'd say. There didn't seem to be much ventilation, and the radiators inside were not on at the time I explored the space. I didn't have any wet gear, but I wonder how effective the cupboard would be if loads of folk were trying to dry wet gear off, ready for another day. Next up is the lounge found by the front door in reception. I'm popping in here now in the morning to avoid filming with folk around, but last evening the room was comfortably full, with folk talking around the tables, sharing trekking tales and relaxing before bed. There are no chairs in the bedrooms, so most people will be sitting here if they're not sitting on their beds to sort out their gear. Here is the view from the window, still a bit dull outside. There are games to play, shared resources like some maps and books to look at. There are some photos of the place of years gone by, and it's interesting to look back at what the buildings used to look like and see what's changed and what's remained just the same. Folk seem to have left their bottles and glasses from last night. Neil and I tidied ours away. The reception lobby has some interesting features to look at too. As well as the selection of beers and other drinks, there are items like water bottles, booklets and a few other things for sale. Ah yes, at this time there is still no Wi-Fi and no phone signal either anywhere near the YHA. We're totally isolated, so I make sure I check in with my family before turning off the main A470 in the evening. The usual reminder of how to check out is posted up, as well as a copy of the weather forecast. Breakfast time then for Neil and I, and as we have bought the full English option, we start with some cereal, coffee and juice. Today we've got scrambled eggs, but yesterday we chose fried. Variety, why not? Good food and excellent value for money. Next, let's take a quick cheeky look around some of the outdoor features. Back along the path in line with the main building, there's a cut through to the new-ish pods which are bookable in the same way as the beds. I've not used any of these, but they seem to be set in an ideal space behind the main building. On the right is the sink area for campers. Not a great setup here, no shelter and not much provision, I'd say. Also on the right here is the entrance to the granary, which I think is for family booking. Let's take a quick look at the toilet and shower facilities for the campers. Access to this is through the outside door here. This is a fair space, but that's it. One toilet and one shower. But I don't think many tent pitches are bookable, so surely that's all fine. Well, it's time for Neil and I to check out now. The departure routine is simple. Strip the duvet and pillowcases and leave them on the bed. Some YHAs have washing baskets, but not here. The key goes in the box and we're off, heading out for another adventure in the mountains. Thank you for following along with this review of our visit. Have you been here yourself? What do you think of the location? Would you recommend a visit? Pop in a question and a like before you go. Why not? Thanks for watching and bye for now.